Do you know what a phoenix is? It's a mythical creature that burns to ashes and rises again from them. If there was a white grape equivalent, it has to be Viognier.
It is sexy, alluring, hauntingly aromatic, very attractive, and an easy charmer, but it takes a lot of skill as a winemaker to rein it in.
Much like most good things, we don't know where it came from, but it can be said that it came probably from Croatia, from where the Romans took it and gave it to France in 280 AD. A 2004 DNA profiling from the University of California linked it genetically to Nebbiolo, the Piemontese grape from which Barolos and Barbarescos are made. The true origin, the true family, true travel tales, nobody knows.
So unlike most white grapes, Viognier actually prefers the warm or the hot climate, which is why it's settled in the Northern Rhone Valley in a site called Condrieu in France, which it claimed as its undisputed kingdom. And there it made some very serious but exciting wines, but they never really took off thanks to Viognier's rather finicky and demanding nature.
That's true. It is prone to diseases, it gives you very uneven ripenesses, and it has a very low yield as well. And even after that, it demands personal attention when it comes to harvest. Pick it too early, and it will be uninspiring, bland, sugary, but it won't have its beautiful aromatics. Pick it a little late, and the grape will produce wines that are oily and just passable.
That's why it nearly died in the 1960s, so much so that in one vintage, only 1900 liters of Viognier was produced. Imagine that's 1900 liters for more than 3 billion people in the world at that time.
Now, Viognier, when it is made well, it can be creamy, moderately citrus, a little weighty, hauntingly aromatic with perfumes, floral, musk, sweet stone fruits like peaches and apricots, and also honey. And it can be boozy, up to 15% alcohol, and it can flirt a little bit with oak as well.
So this grape doesn't have charming acidity or the green notes like a Sauvignon Blanc, and it doesn't even have the satiating, oaky, buttery qualities of a good Chardonnay. In fact, its low acidity doesn't even allow it to be a member of that perfumed club of Rieslings and Muscats. So Viognier is actually in a league of its own. And maybe that's why it had a revival, and in the 1990s, it started regaining popularity.
And alongside South Africa, Australia, Argentina, California, India also had its shining towards Viognier. It has had some experience and not just done well at it, it has turned heads towards India. In 2016, the Nasik-based Charosa Vineyards Viognier won the Best Asian White Wine Award at the Asian Wine Review in Hong Kong.
And they're not the only ones. Grover Zampa, Sula Vineyards, Baloney, York, Soma, they're all producing fairly commendable Viognier. Nine Hills also had one, but I think we don't see it on the shelves anymore. I think Grover's has the maximum Viognier varieties out in their kitty.
On that note, let's not forget India's first reserve white wine was made by Sula, which was their Dindori Reserve Viognier. And from Grover's, when they made a white sibling to the La Reserve, it was also a Viognier. And in the reds, York has for a very long time been toying with co-fermented Shiraz and Viognier blend, much like the Koth-Roti template.
So enough Gyan, let's taste.
So what are you having?
So I have something that's about 2-3 years old, but it's fairly fresh, unoaked, obviously, straight varietal Viognier. Let's see how it goes.
I have a Victorian Viognier from Australia. It has seen a few years, so you can see it's a little dark, which might tell you it is oak aged, but in this case, this has come straight from stainless steel tanks, no oak whatsoever. And when I smelt it, a lot of those perfumed aromas are there, those sweet aromas are there. There's also mango, honeysuckle, a little bit of musk as well, but no oak whatsoever.
So I think here also I've got peach, nectarine, a lot of sort of floral aromas, a lot of ripe fruits in there. But I think, and it's got no oak at all, so it's a very clean, fresh wine. So it smells aromatic, but again, the low acidity might might not be the same.
Right, and on the palate, it's creamy, it is soft. The alcohol, you can tell, is a little higher, and that might also be because of the lack of acidity. But those flavors are just so alluring. It's almost like sucking on the cone from a apricot or peach or maybe a lychee. And there's a little bit of a spicy end to the back, which probably reminds me of ginger.
I think the word creamy that you said is very useful for me because I can find that creamy oiliness here as well. And I think, so that's low acidity, but I think it works here. And if I was having some food alongside, it would coat the palate really well, especially spicy food. I think that would work for me.
Right. And what do you think? Would you age a Viognier?
But this one's gone 2 years, and I think that's enough. I wouldn't age it necessarily. I would drink them as fast as I can for their aromatics.
Right. $1 million question. Would you put your money on Indian Viogniers?
Oh, definitely. Indian Viogniers, I think, as you said, the phoenix rising from the ashes. So this time the phoenix set to fly high. So I think we should go for Indian Viogniers for sure.
Perfect. On that note, do remember, much like other white grapes, which have high acidity and citrus flavors, Viognier is the complete opposite of the spectrum. If you have not tasted it so far, go and taste a Viognier. For sure, you would want to add it somewhere in your repertoire for some good day for sure. On that note, cheers.
Cheers, guys.